Alright guys, so believe it or not, we are the first here in line. Unbelievable. We are so early and it opens at 8. So I'm so excited and happy because we are the first batch early in the morning. Early bird really catches worm, and we are catching not only worm but lions, tigers, crocodile, and a lot more. See ya!
Reserve, there are a few rules. Rule number 1, the roads, they're not paved. It's going to be bumpy, so we ask that you stay seated at all times of their eyes. Alright, that is no copy. Now I know it looks like they're wearing zebra pants, but they're not related to the zebra at all. They are actually the only known relative of the giraffe. Now they have the same basic skull structure. The black rhino is the smallest rhino and will only get to be about 3,000 pounds. The black rhino lives a mostly solitary life, but will occasionally congregate together at night. They have no natural predators. The only thing in the whole world that they have to worry about, people. Sadly, there are horns that are only made of keratin. It's the same thing as our hair and nails. Head on out of the forest and over to the Safi River. Most of the animals here, they like to hang out in and around the water, so that is where you are going to want to keep your eyes. And there to the right, there's a couple Nile hippos down in the water there. At least spend most of their day inside the water. It helps to protect their sensitive skin from the sun. They'll even sleep underwater if they want to. They can hold their breath for about 8 minutes. When they need to take a breath, they just float up to the top, take their breath, and then sink right back down to the bottom. It is just like rolling over in your sleep for you and me. Quite a few more hippos on the left there. Herd of hippos, also known as a bloat. They do not swim, they just walk and hop on the bottom of the riverbed. And I know they do look incredibly cute and cuddly, but hippos are actually one of the most territorial animals in the entire world. So usually if you see hippos, you don't see too many other animals hanging around. They get to be over 5,000 pounds. They can open their mouths 180 degrees. That exposes their 18-inch long incisors. These white and gray birds, those are pink-backed pelicans. No, they don't look pink now, but during mating season, the feathers on their backs, they do change colors. A group of pelicans, also known as a pod. They are one of the oldest known bird species. Some Nile crocodile on the left there. I think it's be about 15 to 18 feet long. That is as long as a giraffe is tall. Now they have very powerful jaws that are capable of closing with around 2,000 pounds of pressure.
Oh, man,
they can hold their breath for about 2 hours under the water. Now their diets mainly consist of fish, but they will eat anything that comes down to the watering hole. Well, now we're going to head on over to the savannah. The savannah is going to be a little more open than the forest. There's going to be a lot less trees, a lot more grass. We should see some more animals hanging out in the open. Now coming up here on the right side of the truck, you're going to see a baobab tree. They are oftentimes referred to as the upside down tree due to the fact that it looks like the fruits aren't growing out the top. They only have leaves for 3 months out of the year. They can store up to 1,000 gallons of water inside their trunks. That's where they get their other nickname, the Tree of Life. During the dry season, elephants will go up to the baobab tree, stab their tusks in, try to get that water out. But now we're going to head on into the savannah, and when we come around this corner, you are going to get a wonderful view of it. In the savannah, you may find many of your favorite animals, such as giraffe, elephants, and zebras. Now I do see some animals up ahead, so let's come around and get a closer look. Now out there to the right, I see those Hartman's Mountain zebra, and I see that little 4-week-old baby zebra hanging out over there too. We'll get over there and get a closer look at those guys in just a second. Coming up here on the right, there's a giraffe. The tallest land animals are about 6 feet tall when they're born. They're about 18 to 20 feet tall when they are fully grown. And a herd of giraffe, also known as a tower. The giraffe, they have the same number of vertebrae in their necks as people. Theirs are just a little bit larger, a little more spaced apart. Now they're also ball and socket joints, kind of like our shoulders. Lets the giraffe turn their heads almost all the way to the back. Out there to the left are some African wild dogs. They're also known as painted dogs due to their coats.
Oh, wow.
They are some of the most successful hunters on the savannah. They will catch their prey about 90% of the time. They are not related to domesticated dogs or wolves. They're a completely different member of the canid family. And unlike dogs and wolves, they only have 4 toes on each foot. It helps them take a longer stride when they're running. Now they can actually run a 5K in under 5 minutes. Coming up on the left, you're going to see some animals with some pretty large horns. Those are Ankole cattle. Well, those horns get to be about 6 feet long, and I know they look heavy, but they are actually quite light. They're honeycomb shaped on the inside. It lets blood flow through them, helps keep the animals cool. Those horns, they only weigh about 5 pounds each. Both males and females do have them. Just going around the dirt up there. As they're traveling around, you can see these smokestack-shaped formations. Those are termite mounds. Termites make those out of dirt, dung, saliva. They bake out in the sun, get as hard as cement. Many of the animals on the savannah will use them like scratching posts. Some will even hop up on top to keep an eye out for predators. Let's go get a look at this cute little baby zebra up here. They are black with white stripes. You can tell by the color of their muzzles. Zebras will oftentimes merge their herds in with other slower animals' herds. That way, if a predator comes around, they can outrun them all. A herd of zebras, also known as a dazzle. Look at that little cutie pie over there. Let's go see if we can get a closer look over here. Now we can tell these are the Hartman's Mountain Zebra because if you look at their bellies, you notice the stripes, they do not go all the way around. Also, if you look under their neck, you see they have that little extra pouch of skin there. It's a dewlap. Helps them with blood circulation. Helps to keep the animals a little bit cooler. Look at Mom, making sure he don't run out in traffic. Oh. He just got his name last week. It's Dash.
Hey, Dash.
Oh, that little cutie pie. I just want to scratch behind his ears. Some giraffe here. Looks like they'll be on both sides of the truck. Now they spend about 16 to 20 hours every day eating. Only about 30 minutes sleeping. But they don't spend those 30 minutes together either. They'll split it up throughout the day. But they have those long prehensile tongues they use to wrap around tree branches to strip the leaves off. Their tongues are long enough they could lick their own eyeballs if they wanted to. These large tannish brown antelope on the hill there, those are Patterson's eland. They are the largest antelope on the savannah. They will get to be 6 feet tall at the shoulder. That's not counting their necks and heads. Good males get to be over 2,000 pounds. Giraffe over here as well. You might notice the horns on the giraffe's head. Those are ossicones. They're actually soft when the giraffe are born. They harden up over time. Giraffe have a very interesting start to their life. It begins with a 6-foot drop straight to the ground. Now they walk in the first 15 minutes of their lives and run in the first hour. On the left, that's a baby giraffe. She's about 7 months old now.
Months old.
That giraffe on the right there. Now it looks like we'll be heading into elephant territory. I can tell it's elephant territory because I can see some trees pushed over. Those elephants say it can be a little bit rambunctious when they're playing, and times they just push trees over for fun, or if they want to get to the leaves at the top of a tree. There's some mandrills here on the left. the largest species of monkey in Africa. Very distinguishable by their red and blue faces. Male mammoths get to be about 100 pounds, females only about 35 pounds. And if you look closely, there are 2 baby mammoths over there. There's a 1-month-old and a 9-month-old. Both are super cute.
See the face.
Rafiki translates to family. Look out there to the right. That's an African elephant. Now you can tell it's an African elephant because it has those large ears. You might see them waving their ears. They're not just saying hello. It's one way they keep themselves cool. They got a lot of blood vessels and arteries behind those ears, so when they wave, it gets that airflow moving around. It cools them down quickly. Elephants, they can eat about 300 pounds of food every day. And they can drink about 40 gallons of water every day. And they'll hold about 5 gallons of water inside their trunks. See that on the right there again. Now coming up here on the left, you're going to see some greater flamingo. They are the tallest species of flamingo, as well as the lightest shade of pink. Now look at that pink coloring from the beta carotene and the brine shrimp they eat. The little gray and white fluff balls are baby flamingos. There's about 20 eggs on the island waiting to hatch now as well. If you take a close look at the island they're hanging out on, you'll notice there's a hidden Mickey. Flamingos will oftentimes stand on one leg. Not only is that a great way to take a break, it's also one way they regulate their body temperatures. A flock of flamingos, also known as a flamboyance. When flamingos are nesting, they are the largest rhino on the reserve. They'll get to be about 5,000 pounds. Now look really, really close. You'll notice they don't look white. Now, they get their name from the Afrikaans word fight. It means wide. That's due to their wide mouths. Now they have the wide mouths that graze the grasslands. Black rhinos, they have more of a pointed snout with that prehensile top lip that lets them eat out of the bushes and the thickets where they find their food. Alrighty, let's look out here to the left, see if we can find us some cheetahs. Now they blend in pretty well with the vegetation, making them a little difficult to spot at times.
Cheetah, where are you, cheetah?
Cheetahs are the fastest land animals. They're capable of reaching speeds up to 70 miles an hour. They're one of the few cats whose claws are always out. It helps them to keep traction while they're running. They'll use their tails like a rudder on a boat to change directions. They are one of the few large cats who will do all their hunting during the day. They do not roar. They do, however, purr quite loudly. Now these form naturally. It's a place where large predators, they will typically hang out. So, up here on the right, I see a baby white rhino. Oh, there's a couple more ostrich too. That little baby white rhino is so cute. I'll tie up these ostriches real quick. Ostriches are the largest birds in the world. They weigh about 300 pounds each. Female ostrich get to be 7 to 8 feet tall. Males get to be about 8 or 9 feet tall. That's a bontebok over there as well. Ostriches are the fastest thing on 2 legs. They can reach speeds running up to 40 miles an hour. Let's go see if we can get a closer look at that little baby rhino. Oh, coming up on the left, I see my favorite animal on the reserve. It's the warthogs. There's one there. There's another one. There's a couple up here. Let's go look at these guys. They're the largest burrowing mammals. They use their razor-sharp tusks. They'll dig those burrows and then they back themselves in, keeping their tusks exposed. It helps keep the predators away. They can reach speeds running up to 35 miles per hour. And when they run those tails, they stick straight up in the air, just like Pumbaa. Pumbaa Swahili is not Swahili for warthog, though. It actually means silly or foolish. Let's go look at this cute little baby rhino. Rhinos are about 100 pounds when they're born. Mothers are pregnant for about 18 months. Rhinos, they charge at speeds up to 35 miles an hour. Turn around for us. So there's some ostrich eggs on the ground there too. The largest eggs in the world, they weigh about 3 pounds each. It would take 24 chicken eggs to equal 1 ostrich egg, and they are strong enough that if you, me, or an ostrich were to stand on top, they would not break. Well guys, it looks like we're coming to the end of our safari. I'd like to thank all of you for coming. Now I know we talked about extinction today, and as we all know, extinction it is forever. So we all have to do our part to help make sure these animals, they are around for generations to come. There's many ways you can do this. Some of the simplest, just make sure to recycle all your batteries and old electronics. You can also build bird feeders or bat boxes in your backyard. You can donate to a conservation fund. Well, Disney's Conservation Fund, they match dollar for dollar everything donated. But if you have a conservation fund closer to your heart, donate to that one. They all help, they all do good. You want to see some more animals, head on over to Gorilla Falls. There you'll get another look at the okapi, maybe see some hippos under the water. Also some animals we didn't see on the safari, like gorillas, meerkats, and naked mole rats. Also head over to Asia, check out the Maharaja Jungle Trek. There you'll find animals like tigers, cranes, Komodo dragons, and flying foxes.
Dragons. Okay.
If there's any wilderness explorers on the truck, you are riding on the Simba one. You can get that badge at the beginning of the attraction, underneath that white umbrella.
Alright, we don't have lion today.
I'd like to say goodbye. It is just fun.